Hello, welcome to your practice. I'm glad you made it. Let me know how it goes. Comments below, maybe a like for the video, maybe you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And feel free to share it, friends, family, anybody who might benefit from it. Hope you enjoy it. And maybe as you find your standing forward fold, your feet could be a bit wider than usual if that feels good. You could even turn your toes in or a little out, explore that. And I'm going to use the block to kind of rest my hands on. But again, you could rest onto something higher, or you could hold opposite elbows. And just take a few moments to see where you could stay for a bit. And some open mouth exhales might feel nice. Maybe releasing something that you don't need to hold on to right now. There might be a bit more space for the neck to release, the head be a little heavier. And acknowledging here that we made time and space to practice. So you gave that effort, now allow the practice to give you something. And be open to see what that might be. And then we'll begin to gently move from side to side. So maybe bending and straightening one leg at a time, and let your hips go from left to right. And there might be a gentle twist as you bend, say, into your left knee. You might turn your torso a little bit to the right and then to the other side. And make it as deep, not deep, as you wish. And then the next time that you bend into your right knee, your hips go a bit more to the right, your torso turns a bit more left. Maybe lift your left toes, maybe rotate through your left hip, turning your left toes towards the left or even towards the ceiling, and then return them down. And then bend into your left knee, take your hips over to the left and turn your right toes towards the right, maybe towards the ceiling, rotating through your right hip. And maybe go a bit more like one side and then the other, finding some movement through the thigh bone, some rotation there. And then eventually bring yourself back through center. And then release your hands, bring them to your shins and find a halfway lift. The feet are still wide-ish. And exhale, fold. And then again, halfway lift. Think about your spine coming more or less parallel to the ground. And then fold, dropping the head. And then again, half lift, inhale. And exhale, folding. Allow your hands to hang, maybe fingertips on the floor, and then walk your fingertips towards the right side. Keep your legs as they are and see if your left fingers can walk a bit further than your right. Send your left hip a little back. Take a breath in and out. And then walk your hands back through center, over to the left. It could be on a block too if you'd like. And then as you send your right hip a bit back, walk your right fingers a little further, stretch for the right side. And then come back through center on the inhale, and now turn your toes out, heels in, and find a bit of a squat, bend and straighten through your knees. Squat and then straighten. And then you could do this with your fingertips on the ground, on your block, or you could begin to lift your hands off the ground. And as you lower your sit bones towards your heels, coming into that squat, maybe your torso lifts, your head lifts. And then as you straighten your legs, maybe you fold, your head drops. And a couple more times. And then we'll meet back in a forward fold, bringing now the feet more hip width with the toes pointing forward. And then finding your chair pose, bend your knees and lift through your torso, reaching arms forward and up. And then on your exhale, return to that fold. Maybe your arms sweep back and maybe they go overhead as the head drops towards the floor. And then again, come back into chair. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, fold, maybe arms overhead. And another one, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. The next time that you come into chair, pause there, bring hands to your heart. Take a moment to shift your weight forward and back on the soles of the feet. Feel the heels, feel the toes, maybe your heels lift some, and then return. And then find a moment of pause. Take another breath. And then as you inhale, straighten legs, reach your arms overhead, grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and side bend to the right. Inhale, come back through center and switch left hand, right wrist and over to the left. Inhale, come back through center. Take your arms wide and bring them behind you. Interlace them at the lower back. Send the knuckles towards the floor, broaden through your chest. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, forward fold, keeping the interlace of those hands. Head drops and maybe knuckles towards the ceiling for a breath in and a breath out. With your next inhale, return to chair, letting go of those arms and bringing them once again to your chest. Pause here, take another breath. This time on your inhale, lift your left heel, come onto the ball of the foot, maybe even the tiptoes. And as you exhale, return heel to the ground. Staying in your chair, right heel lifts, maybe tiptoes. Exhale and lower. Now left heel lifts, maybe onto tiptoes, maybe toes leave the ground. You're still in your chair. And then return. And then switch. Right heel lifts, maybe toes leave the ground. And then return. On your inhale, straighten legs, reach your arms tall, left hand, right wrist, side bend. Come back through center, breath in, and to the other side. Back through center, inhale, arms wide and behind you. Switch the interlace, and once again, knuckles towards the floor as you broaden chest. Take an inhale. On your exhale, fold, keeping that interlace. Drop the head, knuckles towards ceiling. Pull the fronts of the shoulders away from the floor. Breath in and out. Release those hands, find a halfway lift, inhale. And on your exhale, plant your hands and step it back into a downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, bend deep into your right knee as if you were really dropping it towards the floor, straighten through your left. And then maybe right armpit also drops towards the floor as you look under your left armpit. And then switch. Left knee bends, right leg straightens, the right heel pushes into the ground. Left armpit down, maybe look under right. And then do that again. Right knee bends, look left. And left knee bends, look right. Keep pushing the floor away with your hands. Find your regular down dog. And then as you inhale, come out into plank pose. Pause here, a little movement forward and back, maybe side to side, maybe some circling over your wrists. Remember those spider hands, push through the finger pads. And then come back to stillness, your plank pose, take a breath in. And on your exhale, back into downward facing dog. From here, walk your hands towards your feet. And on your exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise into chair. And exhale, bring hands to your heart. Inhale, right heel lifts onto toes, and maybe toes leave the ground. If that's the case, extend your right leg in front of you. Take a moment here, rotate through your right ankle. Both directions. You're still in chair with that left leg. And then return right foot to the ground. Left heel rises, left toes lift. Find that balance. And then maybe extend the leg and find some movement through your left ankle. Breathe in. And breathe out. Another one here. And then return left foot down. Chair pose. Now extend the legs, reach your arms tall. Side bend, exhale. Inhale back through center. Over to the other side. Inhale, center. This time interlace your fingers overhead, palms towards ceiling. Steady your gaze and breath and see if you can come onto the balls of the feet. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Keeping that lift through the heels, see if you can walk slowly to the top of the mat. Keep pushing away through the palms. And once you get to the top of the mat, pause. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, heels down, arms go wide and fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. On your exhale, bend deep into your left knee, straighten the right, turn your torso towards the right. And then switch. Right knee bends, left leg straightens. Turn your torso towards the left. Keep pushing the floor away. And then come back through center, down dog on your inhale, plank. Pause. Some movement or some stillness. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands again towards your feet, back of the mat. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise into chair. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Come onto the ball of the right foot, onto the tiptoes, and then leave the ground, lifting that right knee. Extend the leg out in front of you. Take a breath in. And then from here, straighten through the standing leg and take it into a warrior three, keeping your hands at your heart. Right leg extends back. Pause. We're coming back into that chair slowly, bending into the standing leg, bringing that right knee forward, and then planting the right foot. Switching, coming onto the left toes, lifting that left knee, extending the leg in front of you. From here, straighten through the right leg, and then sweep that left leg back. Warrior 3 on this side. Crown of the head is reaching forward, away from that left foot. Take a breath. With your next inhale, coming back to your chest, slow and controlled, bend into your left knee, bring it forward. Sit down those hips, and then plant your left foot. When both feet are planted, take an inhale to straighten legs, reach your arms tall, and exhale, side bend. Back through center, breathing in. Over to the other side. Back through center, inhale. Interlace your fingers the opposite way, palms towards the ceiling. Again, that full body stretch. Steady breath and gaze, maybe the heels lift. And then from here, keeping the heels lifted, make your way to the top of the mat. Once you get to the top, pause. Heels are still lifted. You're pushing away through the palms. Another breath in. And as you exhale, heels down, arms wide and fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Another one. With your next inhale, come out into plank pose. And now on your exhale, we're lowering down. So you might lower your knees first. Find a bit of external rotation through your arms, and then keep pushing the floor away as you lower the chest and the belly to the mat. On your inhale, cobra, press the tops of the feet down, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest. As you exhale, lower. Inhale again, cobra. Exhale and lower. And another one, inhale, cobra. And exhale to lower. Bring yourself through all fours, tuck your toes, and back into downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Another one. This time making our way to the top of the mat. You could walk there or you could take a hop. Find a halfway lift at the top and then fold, exhale. We're coming back into chair pose, inhale. And bring hands to your heart, exhale. We're going to add to that chair pose, that warrior 3, we're going to add a lunge. So when you're ready, that left foot is going to leave the ground. Lift the knee, extend the leg in front of you first, find that balance. And then begin to straighten the standing leg as you sweep your left leg back to find your warrior 3. Your hands stay at your heart. Take a breath here. And then on your exhale, begin to bend again into your right leg as you lower slow and controlled the left toes to the ground all the way back behind you. Finding your lunge. When the feet are planted, torso lifts, and maybe your arms sweep up. Back heel is lifted. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, bend your elbows, cactus arms, and then bend your left knee, hovering it over the ground. Inhale, straighten arms, straighten left leg. Exhale again. Left knee bends, cactus arms. Inhale, straighten. And last one, exhale, bend. On your inhale, arms lift, leg straightens. And as you exhale, warrior 2. Back heel lowers, arms down by your side. Or reaching forward and back. Take a breath here. On your inhale, reverse warrior. And as you exhale, side angle. 2 more with your own breath. With your next inhale, come back into warrior 2. And on your exhale, hands to the mat and step it back to downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. With your next inhale, come out into plank pose. And on your exhale, we're lowering. Again, maybe knees down. Keep pushing the floor away. Think crown of the head away from tailbone as you lower. Cobra on your inhale. Exhale and lower. Again, cobra. Lower. And another one. Bring yourself back through all fours and back into downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a breath. When you're ready, top of the mat, walking, hopping. Halfway lift at the top and forward fold. Exhale. Bend the knees, come back into chair. Exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to try all of that on the other side. So this time it's your right knee that's going to lift. Extend the leg in front of you. Take a breath. Now push the floor away to straighten the left leg and sweep your right leg back, warrior three. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Take another inhale. And then when you're ready, begin to bend into your standing leg as you slow and control lower the right toes down. You're on the ball of the right foot. Once you're there, lifting that torso, arm sweep overhead, high lunge. On your exhale, bend that right knee, hover it over the ground and find those cactus arms. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, again, bend, cactus. Inhale, straighten. Last one, exhale, cactus. And inhale to straighten. From here, take a full inhale. And then find your warrior two on this side, back heel down and arms forward and back. Breathing in and breathing out. When you're ready, reverse warrior. Legs stay the same, left arm open back. On your exhale, side angle, forearm to thigh, right arm by your ear. And then again, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Another one. As you inhale, find your warrior two. And on your exhale, return the hands to the mat and make your way back into downward facing dog. Left foot steps back. Take a breath. And another. On your inhale, come out into plank pose. And as you exhale, lowering all the way to the belly. This time for your cobra, bring your hands wide, so they're probably going to come off the mat. Wrists and elbows in line, so your elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. You're on your fingertips, palms are lifted. Engage through your legs, push the tops of the feet down and squeeze your glutes. And as you inhale, lift the chest. On your exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and look over your left shoulder. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and look over your right shoulder. And exhale, lower. One more through center, inhale. And exhale to lower. Bring hands under shoulders, move through all fours and back into downward facing dog. Full breath in. And full breath out. Another one here. As you inhale, walk your hands towards your feet, once again to the back of the mat. and fold over the legs. Exhale. Inhale, rise into chair. And exhale, bring hands to heart. Pause for a breath in and a breath out. With your next inhale, push the floor away, straighten legs, reach your arms tall. And as you exhale, side bend, right arm by your side, and maybe slide it behind you towards your left hip. Maybe you pause here, finding some movement through your neck if that feels good. And then come back through center, both arms reach tall. And same thing on the other side, left arm by your side or maybe behind you towards the right hip. And maybe as you find this side bend, there's some movement available in the neck. As you inhale, return through center, interlace your fingers overhead, palms towards the ceiling, big stretch. Maybe heels lift. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, release your heels down and bring the hands to your hips. So a little bit more balance. We're going to take this into some pyramid poses to get to the top of the mat. So ground through your left foot, and then when you're ready, right knee draws up. And then we're going to extend that right leg. Find maybe a little movement through your ankle. Squeeze through left glute. And then from here, you're going to plant your right foot in front of you, triangle shape with your legs, but both feet are well planted. Try not to overdo the extension through your right knee, so a little bend into it. And then we're going to flex from the hips, so take a full inhale. And as you exhale, hinge forward and down. Push actively through that right foot. Think about crown of the head going forward and tailbone going back. Take a breath in and take a breath out. With your next inhale, lifting that torso, a little bend into your right knee, and then now find the balance on your right leg. Left knee comes forward. Extend your left leg and then find some rotation through your left ankle. Wiggle through your toes. And then pause that and step that left foot forward. Once it's planted, take a breath in, lengthen. And on your exhale, hinge from your hips. Extra push through that left foot. Stay grounded through the right heel. Another breath in. And another breath out. With your next inhale, lifting that torso. Little bend into your left knee, and then step your right foot next to the left, mountain pose, top of the mat. Release your arms, give your fingers a wiggle, your shoulders a roll. Come back to that breath. And then as you inhale, sweep your arms wide and up. And on your exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And then step it back, downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. With your next inhale, lift your heels. And to a count of 5, keeping your down dog with your upper body, lower the knees to the mat for 5, for 4, 3, halfway there, 2, 1, knees hover, and knees to the mat. Table pose, your hands walk under your shoulders, your knees more or less under your hips. So a little balance here in this table. We'll start by sending the left leg out behind us. Maybe toes are resting on the ground, or maybe that leg is lifted. Now, if the leg is lifted, see if you can draw your lower ribs gently up and in. So you're not dropping through the belly, you're not compressing through the lower back. You've got some engagement through the front body. And then walk your right hand forward. Maybe you stay on your fingertips, or that right arm reaches forward, lifting off the ground. Palm is facing in, thumb points up towards the ceiling. We're taking a full inhale. full exhale. Push away through the bottom hand, another breath in, another breath out. And one more here, inhale. On your exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, extend. And again, exhale, slow and controlled, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Last one, exhale, elbow to knee. Now hold here for a full breath in, full breath out. Now we're going side to side. So on your inhale, cactus arm, kind of cactus leg, left and right. And on your exhale, elbow to knee. Again, inhale, open to the sides. Exhale, elbow to knee. Last one, open, inhale. And exhale, elbow to knee. From here, lower hand, lower knee, you back in your table. Take a moment to wiggle a bit. Maybe those shoulders get a little movement, your hips, maybe your wrists a counter. You could lift one hand, rotate the wrist, and then do the other. Especially that left hand probably needs a little bit more attention. Maybe there's some cows and cats. Maybe something else. A couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll meet back in table. Find that neutral spine and let's take those movements to the other side. So this time it's going to be that right leg extending behind us. Maybe toes ground, maybe they lifted. And then those left fingers walking forward. And again, maybe on the ground or lifted. Now try to plug in that shoulder. So you're not reaching, the shoulder's not away from you, it's drawing back. Same with your hip. Find that engagement through your right glute. And then push away through the bottom hand. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, slow and controlled, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, extend. Exhale, again, elbow to knee. With your breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more, inhale, extend. And exhale, elbow to knee. Hold here, breath in. Breath out. Now on your inhale, we're going left and right. So cactus arm to the left, cactus leg to the right. Exhale, elbow to knee. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more. Inhale, open. And exhale, elbow to knee. From here, lower hand, lower knee. Take an inhale into cow. And then on your exhale, round your spine and child's pose. Sit bones towards your heels. Anything you want to do with your arms. It might feel nice just to walk them forward a bit and then bring them by your side. Palms facing up, giving your wrists a counter, curling maybe the fingers into the palm, allowing the fronts of the shoulders to really relax towards the mat. Breathing in and out. And then with your next inhale, come all the way again onto the belly, but this time coming onto forearms. So you've got your shoulders more or less on top of your elbows, and your forearms are straight out in front of you with your palms facing down. And then again from here, a little bit awareness to your shoulders. So notice if your shoulders are more protracted, so kind of space between them, and then see if you can retract them, draw them towards one another as you push your chest forward. Shoulders away from your ears and crown of the head reaching tall. You're pushing the floor away with your forearms. You've got an engagement through your glutes and your legs. And take a full inhale and a full exhale. And another one, breathing in, breathing out. One more here. And then as you exhale, gently release the chest down, make a pillow for your forehead, relax through your legs, let the heels of the feet drop away from one another. And take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Another one. And last one. We're going to come back into that Sphinx pose. And we're going to take this into a bit of a stretch for the front of the hip, the quad. So we're going to mean glute engages, hamstring contracts. So careful with those cramps. And just tune in and don't take it too far. All right, so you're on your forearms. The right forearm can come a little bit more diagonal. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bend into the left knee, drawing the left heel towards the glute. Now use your right forearm to push away, and then you could stay here, or you could take your left arm forward, out to the side, and then see if you can catch that left foot. And then if you've got the foot, you might grab the trouser leg, you might use that to draw the heel towards the glute. You might make it more active and not catch it and just use the strength in your hamstring and your glute to draw the heel. Or you might grab the top of the foot, and then here there's a little bit of wiggle that you can do. So if the space there, the hand comes to the top of the foot, toes towards your wrist, and then you're pressing the heel towards the glute, elbow towards the ceiling. Make sure you're pushing away with the bottom hand. And only take it to that place that feels right to you. So not too much, not too little. And try not to put any value, kind of external value onto this. Look for the feeling, the exploration, the curiosity. There's no accomplishment, there's no goal. And we'll take one more breath. And then gently release. Return all the way down. Again, that pillow for your forehead. Wiggle through the hips, relax through the legs. Take that deep breath in. Feel that expansion of the front body against the ground. And that breath out, maybe feeling that front body slightly move away from the ground. And then when you're ready, we'll find the other side. So once again, you're coming back onto your forearms. The left forearm can come a bit more diagonal. It's a bit more supportive in that way. And play around with the placement of that forearm and that elbow closer to your hip, a little further away. See how it feels. And then your right knee is going to bend, your right heel towards your right glute. And then you could stay here. It's quite a bit of work for that hamstring and that glute. Or you could use your right hand to reach back and then maybe pull that heel in. So this would be a bit more passive. because you're using something external to get that stretch. Or you could also see if the hand can come to the top of the foot. So now your fingers are moving towards or in the direction of your toes, and then you're pushing that heel down. And again, just take it to where it feels right to you. It's also quite the stretch for the front of the right shoulder if you're doing it in this way. And then find that breath. Smooth, nourishing. And one more. And then gently release. And once again, come back all the way onto the belly and the chest, making that pillow for the head. Wiggle the hips. And notice any intense sensation. And just keep your attention there. And stay for a few breaths. And just maybe even watch that sensation change. Maybe change in intensity, maybe different qualities appear. Maybe you can feel the influence of the breath on that sensation. And then bring your hands under your shoulders and slowly take yourself through all fours. More of a neutral lower back spine. And then all the way into a child's pose. More of a rounded, flexed lower spine. And then continue with your breath. Noticing again any sensations. Using your breath to study those sensations. And then from your child's, walk your hands in, lift your spine. And then make your way into a seat, bringing the legs in front of you. We're going to meet with the knees bent, the feet planted, and knees and feet wide. And then the hands are going to come to the insides of the legs. If you've got your block, you could plant your hands on a block. And then we're going to walk the hands forward. So as if you were walking between your legs stay in the same position. You let your spine round, your head heavy. You could stay here, and some of us might bring the arms under the legs, kind of under the knees, and then wrap your arms, your hands over your feet, if that feels good. Another breath in. And breath out. And then unwind your arms. Walk them back in, lifting your spine. Heel to toe your feet in, and we're coming onto our backs. So however you want to come down, maybe to your side, or maybe you roll straight down. But we'll meet with that back body well supported on the ground, and then we'll bring those knees into the chest. And just take a moment here to find some movement through that lower back, lifting and lowering your sacrum. And now keep your right knee drawing into your chest, and then plant your left foot. Start with your left knee bent, and if it feels right, extend that left leg all the way onto the ground. Draw the right knee towards your right armpit, and now think about that back body grounding. Shoulder blades, back ribs, sacrum, feel the ground. Take a couple breaths. You could even visualize your exhales kind of pushing that back body down into the ground. Those parts that are making contact getting more connected, more supported. One more. And then bring that left knee into your chest, plant your right foot, give the left knee a squeeze, and then if it's available and feels good, extend your right leg all the way out. Push the right heel away as you draw that left knee away from that right heel, and then ground any part of the back body that is making contact with your mat. Using those exhales. A couple more. And then bring that right knee in towards the chest, both knees in, and take it into a happy baby. Those knees go wide towards armpits. Maybe the heels of the feet stay heavy towards the glutes, or maybe the feet lift up. Your hands around your ankles or soles of the feet to draw those knees down. And keep your sacrum planted and keep your shoulder blades planted too, back of the head down too. Take a breath in and a breath out. And another one. And then release your happy baby. Plant your feet towards the edges of your mat. Knees are bent. And then pigeon toe your feet and let your knees drop into one another. So some internal rotation through your thighs. As if your inner thighs were moving towards the top of your mat. So an opposite direction to your head. And then see if this internal rotation allows your lower back to get just a little closer to the ground. And then your hands can rest on belly area, lower ribs. Now bring your whole attention to your breathing, that movement happening under your hands. Try to make your exhales a bit longer. And try not to be in a rush to inhale, so you might even explore a slight pause after your exhale. And then now let your breath be a natural, more normal breath that you don't have to make happen. And if you're comfortable in this pose for Shavasana, stay. If there's a different pose that feels best, go there. And for the next few minutes, there is nothing else to do. Let yourself be. Shavasana. And return your awareness to your breathing. Notice the sound and the movement of your breath. And then let that guide a little bit more movement through the body. In your own way, eventually we'll meet in a seat. Take your time. And once you get there, you might choose to rest your hands in your lap or bring your hands to your chest. And find that lifted spine, that relaxed face. And we'll take this moment, as always, to acknowledge the practice itself. We'll acknowledge then our own practice. We'll acknowledge and appreciate those who have practiced with us. And we'll appreciate all those who make it possible. And we end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.